I know. My hair is a mess. Stop talking about it, okay? Let's move on. Um, so welcome to Movie News, I think episode 11, which been a while since I've done one of these. I think it's been like almost 2 weeks actually, but might have even actually been 2 weeks or I don't know, it feels like it. But you know, I hey, there just hasn't been a lot of news. We had the Golden Globes recently, though, and I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to talk about Ray and the Last Dragon, what's going on with theaters. I want to talk about Nimona, that Blue Sky movie. I want to talk about some other things that I'm thinking about. So let's get into this. Um, I'm gonna talk the least about the Golden Globes. I just have very little to say about it. It's a shit show. It usually is with the Golden Globes, but I think I'm just the only thing I have to say about is No Man Land won for best picture at the Golden Globes, which it didn't deserve it. I watched that movie. I reviewed it. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I thought it was fine, but it just didn't seem like they deserved it. And there wasn't anything else I really wanted to talk about. Basically, it was just a shit show. And yeah, I didn't watch it. I just sometimes you hear about the big ones. I really only know crap about the Oscars because that's the major one I pay attention to because that's the one with the most street cred. If you ask me about award shows and stuff like that, so and I don't watch that one. I usually just hear from other people who do watch it. So I'll probably talk about that shit when that comes around. Um, so I guess we should start with what I'm looking forward to this week, and the answer is nothing. I know Gate of the Ghost. That's a new Netflix animated series. It's 6 episodes. I haven't watched it yet. I'm planning to watch that tonight and possibly do a video on that. I was, I'm a big fan of reviewing stuff every Friday on Disney Plus, but the thing is about it, it seems every company has crap coming out the week after this week. We have HBO Max dropping the Snyder cut. Not this week, the week after. We have Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out. And then the week after that, we have Invincible, Mighty Ducks, and we got Godzilla vs. King Kong. So we got a lot of stuff coming out in the next couple weeks here. But this week is very empty, which makes me kind of feel like a lot. It draws into to question some things. First of all, we had Ray and the Last Dragon this week that dropped on Disney Plus for Premiere Access, which I really wanted to see that movie, and I think tomorrow I might pay for it and watch it. I haven't decided yet. That's maybe something. Um, but the big news with that story was that it got banned for some theaters because this is a disgusting business practice that Disney does. Basically, normal theaters, so let's say Warner Brothers want to release a movie in a theater, they would take 30 to 40% of the movie's ticket sales into their own pocket. The rest goes to the theaters, right? It's it's a bargaining deal. That's how they release movies in theaters. That's just how it's always been. But Disney, being the biggest company in the world, says, "Hey, we're gonna take more," and so they've taken 50 to 60 to 70, in some cases 80%. Now this is bullshit. Um, a lot of theater chains have called them out for this. They've said, "Hey, this is wrong. You should never do this." But what are you going to do about it? You can't not release a Disney film in a theater. Like you can not release maybe some of their smaller movies, right? Like maybe, I don't know. Like let's say they made a movie like $1 Million Arm. You're not gonna play. You can skip that, but you're not gonna go. Here, let me put this back. You're not gonna go. Hey, I'm not gonna show Endgame in my theater. Disney is actually, there's real news stories of Disney threatening smaller theater chains saying, hey, if you don't show only our movie, you won't ever be allowed to show a Disney movie again. And so that happens. And they've, you know, but this is the big moment where they actually get called out on their bullcrap. The first Cinemark said we're not showing the movie because, you know, we're hurting economically from this COVID disaster, and you're still asking to take a bunch of money when you're asking an absurd price on a streaming service, number one, and then number two, you're taking extra money from us that you shouldn't be taking during a COVID pandemic. And so they banned the movie from the theater, and they didn't even give Disney a chance to fight because they're Disney. They wouldn't have done anything. And I think Raya and the Last Dragon was set up to fail. I don't know why, but it came out the same week as the WandaVision finale, and I think that's a big thing right there. And there's a lot of options of things to watch this week, not just on Disney Plus. We had the WandaVision finale, we had Coming to America, we had Boss Level on Hulu. I reviewed all that stuff, by the way, if you want to check out my reviews for that. And then you had Tom and Jerry that came out a week before, which more people are watching than I think Brave and the Last Dragon. And I think the biggest issue for that is, number one, this is a Disney movie that's original. It may be based on like folklore and stuff, but I mean in terms of like, it is not based on a property that Disney, you know, has before. So the trailers don't give you a lot, and they don't really tell you what this movie is going to be like. And I think if this would have been a musical, this would have done well, because, you know, Disney musicals are big deals. But it's not, and I think, so I think with this movie they planned this premiere access thing because they're like, we got to put it out, and we'll test the water still. But I think people are looking at them going, my kids can watch Tom and Jerry on HBO Max right now for no fee. You offered us Soul back at Christmas time with no fee. This is bullcrap, and you need to stop doing this. And so I think they're seeing the hurt of this. I don't know where they're going to go in the future, but I think it's just going to hurt things more and more. And then we saw more delays this week. Fast 9 got delayed to the same day as Venom 2. Venom 2 is moving, obviously, and other things like that. I don't really care about Fast and Furious. I've actually never seen a Fast and Furious movie, but I think it's important to talk about. If movies are moving, things are happening, you know, things... you know, a week ago, some theaters were going, hey, things are getting better, ticket sales are going up. But it doesn't seem like they are as much as they were saying. It seems like there was just a lot of talking up things like, hey, things are getting better. And then a week later, it doesn't seem like they were as much as they were saying. And so, yeah, personally, I believe all these big movie studios should be going over all their movies and prioritizing which ones are most important to them. The ones with the smallest budgets, find a way to put them out first. Hold the big ones and do that. I think it's very irritating to see so many studios like Disney. You know, I think Disney has a lot of movies that they could put out on Disney Plus, like Cruella, that would do a lot better on Disney Plus than even releasing it in the theater. And I think, you know, not doing it with the $30 would be fair. I think they need to find a way to do this and have a plan. Because for me, as a consumer, I want to see the movie, right? And I'm okay with waiting, but I want to know that I'm getting it this year at least. That is the big issue. I think HBO Max has my money because they said, you know, I don't know the exact release date for The Conjuring 3 or whatever, you know, but I do know this year I'm getting that movie. You know, they promised me that. And if it moves till next year, well, I'll be pretty upset actually. But, you know, I do know I'm getting that movie at least. That is the big issue. It's trust in the consumer to say, hey, we're giving you this movie. We don't know how yet, or, you know, we don't know when yet, but have a plan of what you're going to do. And I think that's the biggest issue. But yeah, I think that's a pretty messed up thing going on with that. So let's talk about the other thing that I would think was set up to fail. I think Zack Snyder's Justice League was set up to fail because we have this week that has nothing coming out, and they're dropping it the same week as Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I think they're setting it up to fail for that reason and kill this franchise. I talked about the fact that this was ending on a cliffhanger. If you watch this movie, you'll be watching a 4-hour movie that ends on a cliffhanger that is not going to be resolved. Zack Snyder and the head of DC, Walter Amada, both confirmed this. So I think if you are going to watch this movie, you should go in knowing that and understand that. And I think that's why this movie is being pushed out next in a couple weeks instead of this week when it actually should be releasing. Like I get like why Falcon and the Winter Soldier isn't coming out this week because that'd be ridiculous, right? You don't. That's too close. Like there should be a week apart. You people catch up, have a week to catch up on WandaVision before they jump into the next MCU thing. Which, by the way, we did. It was confirmed that WandaVision was just a mini series, which I think was bullcrap that they did not tell us this before that, and I think there was so much confusion on Twitter and other places, other social media about this. Like, is this the series finale? Is it not? I think it was Mandalorian that was also like that. And you know what? But Mandalorian, we know it's not. This we didn't know, and I think that was the big issue there. Um, um, but now we do know, and we know Falcon and Winter Soldier is also one, which um, we'll see how that works out. I thought that wasn't going to be one. It seemed like they have infinite possibilities. I kind of like the idea of these being mini series because if more MCU shows are mini series, that might work out better than like multiple series because the big thing about it is you will oversaturate it with Marvel, right? Because when you get an MCU movie in a theater, it's one movie and they're spread apart months, and you get three of them a year, but they're spread apart at least 3 months or so, maybe more, right? But if you get a series, you have to air all the episodes, and Disney Plus releases things weekly. So I think it's really, really hard to have, hey, we're gonna run this show and this show and this show, right? We got Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, all these different shows. Like that's really, really hard to do and make it work. So I think this is the best route if that's what they're doing. I just wish they would have stopped saying these are series when they're not series. They're limited event things. Which again, I am fine with that. I'm fine with that, but it's like I expected this to go on to like season 2, and then I wake up on the morning. Episode 9 comes out at 5 a.m. in the morning to watch it, and it says and the episode's titled series finale, and I'm going, is this the end or is it more? And now I know it's the end, but it's like, why didn't you tell me that? And I think I think again that's a big thing with that. I really don't like that kind of behavior from a company. All right, let's talk about pneumonia. This episode's talking crap about Disney this week, apparently, which you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I do a lot of talking crap about Disney. So if you don't like that sort of thing, you probably shouldn't watch my channel because Disney does a lot of messed up things that they get away with because they're the biggest company. So if other people won't call them out, I will. Just sorry, it has to happen. So when they shut down Blue Sky, there was Pneumonia, which was this movie that was being produced or made by the She-Ra creators or something like that, or one of the writers on it, whatever. I didn't watch the show, so I don't know the Netflix cartoon that is. I don't care for. I don't really ever care to get into that show. Honestly, it didn't look appealing to me, but maybe I might give it a try before this movie comes out. Because now, instead of it being canceled, which this was a big thing when they shut down Blue Sky, that really pissed me off. You had a movie that was 70% finished, and they didn't let them finish it. But then we started learning something interesting about this movie. This is a gay movie. and it has a gay kiss as part of the movie. And I'm not upset about that or anything. I was seeing some, the typical reaction you see to this. It's a homophobic thing where I was like, I don't want to watch a movie with that. I'm glad it was canceled, but I think here's the thing that needs to be called into question: Disney shut this movie because of those things being in the movie? That is not confirmed, but it also is not denied. And I think it is very right for people to be upset and calling Disney into question for this, because Disney over the past few years has been editing movies to appeal to China. They've said, hey, we got a gay character in our movie, and you've seen 5 minutes of that character in the movie, maybe a couple lines, that's it. And why? Because, well, they need to make it so that way they can edit it out for China. So they can't make it part of the story or anything. Or really part of the movie, basically. And we've seen that happen. It's a very disgusting behavior. But so it wouldn't surprise me if Disney did this. I'm not mad per se because it is getting made. They're letting it get made. So in terms of where I think this is gonna go, I think the best course of option is Apple TV or Netflix, which more than likely it will get bought by Netflix. I think this film will be a big hit for them if it does get put on there. I have no doubt this film will get made because there's just no reason for it. Again, this film was 30%, not 30%, 70% made. And I will watch it when it comes out. This is a very experimental movie. I think it looks bad on Disney part that they canceled a movie that's not only very experimental and different from their movies, but also features gay subject matter, LGBTQ representation, and things like that that are important. And for a company like Disney who says we care to shut this down was very disgusting behavior if this is true. But again, we do not know. So I would say call it into question, but still give Disney a chance to defend themselves because we just don't know. And again, wouldn't surprise me if it came out, yes, they did do that. But again, we don't know. It is not confirmed. It is not denied. We don't know. I think it's important that we call that into question for sure. I'm skeptical, but I'm not weighing towards one side. I'm just I'm raising an eyebrow going, I'm not so sure. But I'm also putting the eyebrow down and going, well, Disney still could defend themselves and come out with, oh, well, you know what? This is actually the truth behind this is what happened. And we can go, okay. But I doubt Disney will say anything about it because I think the public has already made up their mind on it, which is unfortunate because if they really didn't mean any harm by it, then we should give them, all right, we apologize for freaking out at you, type of thing, But I really highly doubt that this wasn't a thing that they planned. I guess we should talk about some Amazon Prime stuff I'm looking forward to that was announced this week. Because this has been a very negative movie news episode, but I can't help it. This is just what's going on with these companies, and I think I think it's important we talk about it. I talked about it. So I'm a big fan of the Jack Ryan movies and Tom Clancy's books. I haven't read a bunch of any of them for the most part. I need to read them. I was in a Goodwill, and they had a bunch of them for $1, a huge stack of them hardcovers, brand new, and I almost bought them, but I just couldn't get them, and it was really I was really like, dang it, I passed. I should have went back and got them, but I didn't. next time I come across something like that, I definitely will, because it's not like I don't see those things very often. But yeah, um, but I'm a big fan of Jack Ryan movies, and this is a spin-off to those, which makes sense that it's going to Amazon Prime. April 30th was the date. It's got Michael B. Jordan in it. Um, so this is another movie that was like Paramount sold this to Amazon Prime. We saw that was coming to America too. Um, and Yeah, I really am looking forward to this one. This one seems to be similar to Patriot Games. It was Michael B. Jordan looks pretty like he was having a great time at this movie. He looks like he could be an actually great charismatic action star in this movie, and it makes sense that this would go to Amazon Prime because of course they have the Jack Ryan show, which I will be talking about season 3 whenever we get any info about that and whenever that premieres. I'm sure, which will be nice to when that one premieres, because this will be actually the first season, I believe, that will be premiering week to week, which is great because more people should talk about that show. It's really good. But if you haven't seen the Jack Ryan movies and you only watch the Amazon show, the movies are significantly better. You should definitely watch them. My favorites are. Hunt for Red October and Patriot Games. Some of All Fears. The last two, we don't talk about those, but yeah, Jack Ryan is that is when people ask me what is your favorite film franchise. I usually say like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. But if I wasn't gonna say something like that, I would say like Jack Ryan. I think that's a weird one for a lot of people because like I know there's like fans of the series of movies, but and the character, but I think there's more so fans of the character, not the series. Um, and yeah, so I think that's a thing there. But yeah, I love the movies. I reviewed them all at one point. I think I want to re-redo those reviews. I don't think I'm proud of those reviews, the way I used to be. But yeah, it was a very good. Yeah, it was just a big news week for stuff. Hopefully next week will be more of a positive week, for stuff, because this just was like a there was this bull crap that went on, or there was this crap that looks bull crap. Also, we got a teaser for the Amazon show Underground Railroad. I don't know too much about this one, but this is a series that premieres May 14th, and that we got the date for that. It didn't really have a trailer. It had like a teaser, but but yeah, I'm excited about that. I'll probably be reviewing that show when it comes out. And yeah, that's so yeah. I gotta figure out something to review for Friday because we got literally nothing coming out this week, unfortunately. Which is like, oh, dang it! Just looking forward to stuff, but all the stuff I'm looking forward to is in the next 2 weeks and not this week. If that makes sense. So it's like, dang it. Dang it!